It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary, hosted by me, Spencer. Let's just jump into the episode. This is the German episode for sure. We had a few German words in the previous episode, and we don't have any. We don't have any in the next episode. The last one is the last word in this episode. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about German words. The second form of German is an adjective from the 15th century. Of, relating to, or characteristic of Germany, the Germans, or German. Just German in general. German. Oh, I don't even know what to make for a sound effect. There's some dogs at the end of this episode, so I'll go because that's how dogs sound. Next is German cockroach. Noun from 1896. It is a small, active, winged cockroach, probably of African origin, that is a common household pest in the U.S., called also croton bug. Croton? I don't want any croton bugs in my salad. I like croutons, but not crotons. Why do they call them croton bug? There's a croton plant. What's a croton bug? Is it what they call German cockroaches in Germany? Why croton? From the Croton Water of New York. Interesting. Well, they probably have a lot of cockroaches in New York, so maybe that's why. I should probably post a picture of a German cockroach. Unfortunately, I might freak out some people, so I might have to put like a sensitive thing. So the species name is Blatella germanica, and it says it's probably of African origin. So, but it's in the U.S., so why is it German? Why is this cockroach German? It could be I don't know. I guess, do I have to look that up? Is that in here on the Wikipedia page? We need to know these things. Is there an etymology section on this page? No. History. Previously thought to be native of Europe. That's probably why. The German cockroach later was considered to have emerged from the region of Ethiopia in northeast Africa, but recent evidence indicates that it actually originated in South Asia or Southeast Asia and diverged from a different species slightly over 2,000 years ago. The cockroach's sensitivity to cold might reflect its origin from such warm climates and spread as a domiciliary pest since ancient times has resulted from incidental human transport and shelter. So really the name just comes from the fact that they thought it came from Europe, but then they realized it came from Africa, but then they were like, actually no, Asia. But we still call it the German cockroach. But also, why not European cockroach? Why German specifically? All right, fine. You have it your way. Cockroaches. Next we have germander. Noun from the 15th century. Any of a genus of plants of the mint family with flowers having 4 projecting stamens, a short corolla tube, and a prominent lower lip. A prominent lower lip? Didn't know plants had lower lips. Let's look up a picture of a germander. Now, this might not be related to German at all. A prominent lower lip? A lot of these look like kind of bushes. It's of the mint family. The genus name is Teucrium, Teucrium. A lot of these are looking with a lot of shades of purple, I would say. Let's see, anything else interesting to say about it? 4 projecting stamens, a short corolla tube, and a prominent lower lip. Does it look like this? It's got a prominent lower lip. That's my prominent lower lip. Yeah, I don't know where the lip is exactly. I mean, these pictures aren't close up. Now this one does have. It kind of looks like maybe the lower petal is a bigger petal, and maybe is that the lower lip that you're talking about? Hmm. Um, the etymology says this is from the Greek chamai, chamai, which means on the ground, plus drys, drys, which means tree, and there's more at the word humble tree. How that turned into the chamai turned into germander? What happened there? How did that? What that seems chamai. I don't know. Maybe it's a Greek pronunciation thing that I don't know. But that's a name. Chamai on the ground tree. It's a tree on the ground. It's a humble tree. It's like, oh, I'm so humble. I gotta go down and crouch down onto the ground because I'm humble and I'm a tree and I'm also germander. Yeah. Next is germane. German with an E. Adjective from the 14th century. Number 1 is obsolete. It means closely akin. And now that relates to the German word that we had in the previous episode, which was all about being related, having the same parents or the same grandparents. So if you're closely akin, closely related, you are germane. But now we also have number 2, being at once relevant and appropriate. The synonym is fitting. Fitting, as in the example, omit details that are not germane to the discussion. They are not, get rid of those things that are not important to the discussion. They don't fit in this discussion. They have to be relevant and appropriate, and those details are not. So, see you later, details. We're having a conversation, an A-B conversation, so see your way out of here and leave, because we're humble trees. All right, this word is from the Middle English germane, spelled M-A-I-N, which literally means having the same parents just from before. So that's why the closely akin definition made sense, but we don't use it that way anymore. But it's still related, it's still similar, because the number 2 definition is all about being relevant, being related, being similar to what's going on. So, so something like this Bob's Burgers thing might not be germane to this podcast because it's not really related in any way, but sometimes you just want to have it around and click the button and hear them say,
I'm a smart, strong, sensual woman.
Right? That's important to know sometimes. Germane. For more synonym information, see the word relevant. Is it relevant? Germane? No? Get it out of here. Or also just leave it and it adds some texture. Germanely, that is an adverb. Next we have Germanic with a capital G. It's the first form. It's an adjective from 1633. Number 1, the synonym is German. 2, of, relating to, or characteristic of the Germanic-speaking people. And they use the word right there in the definition, Germanic-speaking people. 3, of, relating to, or constituting Germanic, which I believe would be referencing the very next entry. So I guess we should talk about that. Bark, 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 bark. The second form of Germanic is a noun from 1892. It is a branch of the Indo-European language family containing English, German, Dutch, Afrikaans, Frisian, the Scandinavian languages, and Gothic. And it says to see the Indo-European languages table, which is only going to be a couple years from now, so you don't have to wait that long, but I kind of want to look at it real quick. Let's see, we're getting real close. While I'm doing this, I should recommend that you check out the podcast, the History of English podcast. I had the host on this show for the word English, and I have listened to a handful of episodes, but nowhere near as many as there are. It's a whole history lesson about Europe and English and language, and it's pretty fascinating. But yes, here is a big full-page chart of the Indo-European languages, and that is fascinating. So they are all related. Woo! So Germanic is one of the branches of that whole group of languages. That's why, English and German have some similarities. We're borrowing words from them. There are words that came from, so languages are great. And that's why we have this podcast. So you can learn more about English. But not in a historical way, in a modern, fun, slightly educational way. Bark, bark, bark. Next we have Germanism. Noun from 1611. Number 1. A characteristic feature of German occurring in another language. Well, I was just briefly chatting about that with myself. A characteristic feature of German occurring in another language. Well, of course, I first think of just a word, a German word that we use in English or another language. I'm trying to look up. Did I spell that word right? I think so. Germanism. So like kindergarten, that would be the first one that I think of. Place for children, because I think kinder is child or something, and the garden is where you grow the children, so the kindergarten is where the children are growing and learning. But what does this say? Germanism is a loan word or a phrase or a grammatical structure borrowed from the German language into another language, or an expression that imitates German sentence structure. So let's look at some examples of these. Loan words could be, they mention kindergarten here, also zeitgeist, also doppelganger or doppelganger. Let's see, structural imitation. Let's see, in English, this often refers to creating complex compound nouns such as car driver resembling Autofahrer, or creating awkward phrases that mimic German syntax. You're just straight up saying that German can be awkward sometimes. Context. Used in linguistic analysis to describe the influence of German on other languages, particularly in areas historically close to German-speaking regions. Okay, so yes, there's a few other things, but that is Germanism, where we're a thing that we have borrowed from German and put it into another language. Fantastic. That was just number 1. Now we have number 2, partiality for Germany or German customs. Are you partial to those things? Do you like what the German customs are? Just Germany in general? Then you have Germanism because you have that partiality to that. You like to go visit. You like the language. You like the people. You like the beer. You like the schnitzel. You like the whatever else they got over there. 3. The practices or objectives characteristic of the Germans. What are the objectives that the Germans have? What are the practices that they do? I mean, stereotypically, they say that Germans are very sort of structured and organized and on time. Is that true? Is that false? Are you German? Is that an old idea? Is that still accurate today? Tell me what you think. I don't know. Bark, 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 bark. Next is Germanist. Noun from 1831. It is a specialist in German or Germanic language, literature, or culture. People who have that Germanism might go on to be a Germanist for their job. Can you make that your job? What would you be doing? Would you be teaching German, the culture, the languages, the language of German? If you're a Germanist, just walking around, just teaching people about all the great things about Germany. just on the street handing out pamphlets. Have you heard of this country, Germany? Well, no, I haven't. Please teach me. I am a Germanist, so I shall teach you all about Germany. Next is germanium. Germanium, noun from 1886. It is a grayish-white, hard, brittle, metalloid element that resembles silicon and is used especially in optical and semiconductor materials and as a catalyst. And it says, go see the element table if you want to learn more about it, a little bit more. They don't have all the information. Germanium. It is from Germany. So maybe it was found or invented in there. Germanium. How do we spell this word? Yeah, I want to know. The symbol is GE. The number is 32. What is this? The weight? Is that what that number is? I don't remember. 72.63. I don't remember what that number means. Let's go to this page and see if it'll tell us. Now, are all of the elements going to be in the dictionary? All over 100 of them? Let's see. Where's the... Oh, boy, that's a lot of information. Boy, they give you so much information here on Wikipedia. Good for Wikipedia for giving us all the information that we might need. It looks very cool. I think I need to post a picture of the germanium on the social media. Oh, it's so metallic and silvery and gray, and ooh, I like that. The standard atomic weight is 72.63, and the standard atomic weight is the weighted arithmetic mean of the relative isotopic masses of all isotopes of that element, weighted by each isotope's abundance on Earth. For example, it goes on. Okay, yeah, we're not going to dig into that because that's not what we're talking about. We're here to talk about anything else about germanium? I don't think so. So we're here to talk about Germanize. Verb from 1598. It is often capitalized, and we are starting with transitive. Number 1 is archaic. It means to translate into German. So any other language, if you Germanize it, you are translating it into German. Why is this archaic? Can you not still use this word? I think that would make perfect sense to me. Number 2, to cause to acquire German characteristics. So you are making something else take on those German characteristics. What could those be? Well, maybe if you are, I don't know, flattening meat and frying it, could that be Germanizing your food? I don't know. I think that they have I think of schnitzel. That's the first thing I think of, but I'm sure there's other flattened fried foods. Now we have intransitive, which is to have or acquire German customs or leanings. So this would be yourself, I think. You are Germanizing yourself to take on those things, the customs, the leanings. How do the Germans lean? Do they lean to the left? Do they lean to the right? Only the Germans know. And I assume, these other just general German characteristics. The Germanists are maybe Germanizing themselves. Okay, now, Germanization, that is a noun, often capitalized, and we know it comes from the word German. Bark, 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 bark. Now we have German measles. Ah, crap, I got German measles. We have them. This is a noun from circa 1875. How is this different than the other measles? This is an acute contagious virus disease that is caused by a toga virus, and is milder than typical measles, but is damaging to the fetus when occurring early in pregnancy. It is called also rubella. Isn't there that vaccine that a lot of kids get, and a lot of people are saying no vaccines, and I'm like, no, you really should be doing those vaccines when you're a little child because they are going to help keep them safe. Rubella, I think, is one of them. So let's call out the species name for this toga virus is rubella virus. That's the species name, rubella virus. It is of the genus rubivirus, all one word. And does the Rubik's Cube have a rubivirus? Okay, the toga virus, I mean, how can I not call out that this is just a virus that's wearing a Greek toga? That's what makes perfect sense to me. It's milder than your typical measles, so that's good to know. If you're an adult, maybe you're like, I got the German measles. It's not that bad. I don't want the regular measles. But I don't know how bad. I mean, measles, I think, is pretty bad. So German measles, even if it's milder, it still might be pretty bad. But definitely make sure that the pregnant people are staying away from the rubella or the German measles altogether because it's very bad for the fetus. I believe that we are probably using rubella more often because I think that when you put a country, a culture, a location, an area to the name of something that's not good, it just, with that context, it just makes people feel bad about that. Like coronavirus was called like the Chinese virus. Like that just sounds real bad and makes people not like China. And same kind of thing here, I think, with German measles. People like, all the Germans got the measles, so maybe we shouldn't call it that. We should call it something more scientific, like rubella. I think there's a lot of examples like that out there in the world. All right, let's move on to bark, bark, bark. Germano. This is a prefix. It just means German, as in the example, Germanophile, which is our next word. Bark, 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 bark. Is it Germanophile? Germanophile, with a capital G. The phile part, of course, is Phile. This is the first form of Germanophile. It's an adjective from 1898, and it is approving or favoring the German people and their institutions and customs. If you approve of all the German things, if you are a Germanist, then you might be a Germanophile. You favor the German people and all their stuff in their bags, over other people and their stuff in their bags. Germanophile. Well, so that was the adjective. You're describing something as Germanophile. And then we move on to bark. The second form of Germanophile is a noun from 1911. One that is a Germanophile is a Germanophile. That's just how that works. I just don't know a ton about Germany. I mean, I've been there a few times. I don't think I would call myself a Germanist or a Germanophile. But if you identify as one of those, and maybe you're German, can you be German and also a Germanophile? I think why not? If you are that, call me up, leave a voicemail on the Google Voice number, send me an email, send me something, and say, why are you a Germanophile? Give me all your information so I can come over and hang out, and you can show me all of your German things. Bark, bark, bark. Next we have German Shepherd. 2 words, noun from 1926. Any of a breed of working dogs of German origin that are intelligent and responsive and are often used in police work and as guide dogs for the blind. Called also Alsatian. Is that the right word? I believe I have heard of that word, Alsatian. Alsatian. But normally we hear German Shepherd. You probably know what this dog looks like. I will post a picture of a German Shepherd on the social media. They can be, I guess, maybe is their natural state maybe a little bit aggressive. I mean, they are larger, strong dogs, and you got to be careful with them sometimes. You gotta teach them right. Maybe give them some discipline so they're not quite as aggressive. But maybe that's why they're used as police dogs. But they can be guide dogs for the blind. So because they're so smart, they're very good at that. Anything else to say about German Shepherds? I don't know. They're working dogs. The Germans bred them to work for them. What were they were doing? What were they were doing? German Shepherd. Is I want to see. I want to know a little bit of the history here. What does this say? Oh, the breed was developed by Max von Stephanitz using various traditional German herding dogs from 1899. The breed gained international recognition after the end of World War I. It became the second most popular breed in the U.S. in 2016. Let's see. Herding sheep. Oh, let's see. Anything else? Anything else we need to know? The history. In the 1890s, attempts were being made to standardize dog breeds. Dogs were being bred to preserve traits that assisted in their job of herding sheep and protecting their flocks from predators. So that was the original usage of them. That's a drawing for sure of Max von Stephanitz with one of the dogs circa 1900. There's also an illustration of a German Shepherd from 1909, and what I always find interesting about seeing drawings or photos of dogs 100 plus years ago, different breeds, is that they look quite different than the breeds that we're aware of today. They're similar, but different. So this evolution, this breeding has been changing. It's changing all the time. And so 100 years from now, a German Shepherd might look different. I don't know. They also, back then, they were trying to sort of figure out the breeds. I don't love the idea of this breeding thing exactly, but so they were still sort of trying to figure out. So like maybe now they're like, yeah, this is a German Shepherd. This is what it's supposed to look like. Then they're just going to keep on breeding German Shepherds with German Shepherds to have that true bloodline, even though it's all fake anyway. And then, so maybe 100 years from now, a German Shepherd is going to look the same as it does now, but not the same as it did 100 plus years ago. All right, let's move on from German Shepherd to bark, bark, bark. Is that how the German Shepherd barks? Bark, bark. Hello, I'm a German Shepherd. Bark, bark. I don't think that's how they talk. Next, we have German short-haired pointer, 3 words, noun, from 1931. Any of a breed of gun dogs of German origin that have a liver or liver and white short coat. So what they're saying is that the coat, the color of their coat is liver or liver and white. And let's now look up, because I have the whole world of the internet at my fingertips. German short-haired pointer. There's a picture of one of them pointing. They're leaning forward. Their tail is going straight back. Their head is going straight forward. They're like, I'm pointing at this thing, and you better look at it, because that's what I was bred to do. Oh, this one looks so sweet. A lot of them have just a fully brown head, and then this one has a collar, and then below the collar, it's a completely different color. So it looks like it's the head of one dog put on the body of another dog, and the collar is where it's attached. It's like what they did in the movie The Mask, when the little dog put on the mask. They used the collar as the point to match the CGI and the real live action, so they had a seamless point. Yeah, they have a very spotted body, and yeah, it's a gun dog. Does that mean that they're used when they go hunting? They're like, I found a thing. You should shoot your gun at it, because I'm a gun dog, and I think you should shoot it because I want to take it. And that's the German short-haired pointer. Congratulations. Move on to bark. Next, we have German silver, noun, from 1830. A silver-white alloy of copper, zinc, and nickel. So all of those 3 things mushied together in a yogurt to make a silver-white alloy, and you call it German silver. Were the German people the ones who were like, what if we combined copper, zinc, and nickel? What would we get? We shall call it German silver. But they probably would have called it silver and that would probably have been in German. Bark, 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 bark. We have our last word. It is German wire-haired pointer. So the first pointer we had was the short-haired pointer. Now we have the wire-haired pointer. And of course, I'm going to swap out the word short in my search for the word wire, and we're going to look it up. Look up what they be looking like. Let's look them up. All right, before we talk about what they look like, we are going to say that this is a noun from circa 1964. 1964, all these other ones were older. Any of a breed of gun dogs of German origin that have a liver or liver and white flat-lying wiry coat. So it was largely similar to the short-haired pointer, except they have a short coat and the wire-haired pointer has a flat-lying wiry coat. And these pictures, oh, it's so cute. Well, first of all, right off the bat, I should say that the fur on their face is a lot different. It's a lot shaggier, looks like, on a lot of these. Looks like they have a beard, mustache and a beard. And also a lot of them, that front part is lighter colored. But in general, their coat is just longer than the short-haired pointer. Longer and I guess a little wirier, since it's in the name. I guess that would be accurate to say. But yeah, it just has longer hair, really. That's all it is. And then the shaggier face also changes the way that the face shape looks. Oh, that one straight up has a red mustache. He looks tired. That's a good picture. Okay, so that's it for all the words, and now I'm going to reread them to you so we can all pick a word of the episode. If you have a strong feeling about what your word of the episode would be, you can tell me. Today we had German, German cockroach, germander, germane, Germanic, Germanic, Germanism, Germanist, Germanium, Germanize, German measles, Germano, Germanophile, Germanophile, German shepherd, German short-haired pointer, German silver, and German wire-haired pointer. What are we gonna pick? We got dogs, we got plants, we got things all about Germany. Let's see. I don't know. I kind of want to pick something a little bit different as usual. I guess in that case, because there wasn't anything really that was jumping straight out into my face. So I guess let's pick germane as the word of the episode. Germane. My hair is really long. I got a mane. It's germane. It's not relevant to this song. It's germane. Oh yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, so movie time. Let's do another 2 movies because I want to get semi caught up at least. The next movie was Roofman. Very fun. You could call it a fun movie. Yeah, for sure. Based on a true story about a guy who was living in a Toys R Us for quite a long time, I think, before people found him. It's just a fascinating story, and there's a little bit more to it. There's somebody who he likes. He's got a little crush on somebody, and it's just an interesting story about a real guy. And is he still in jail, or did he get out? I can't remember. I don't think he did anything bad. I think he just robbed. I think he just was trying to get money and stuff. But he was a good guy. When he put him in the freezers, when he was robbing other stores, he said, "Put on your jacket because it's cold in there." Let's see. The next one is quite different. It is called Dead of Winter, and I believe I know what this one is, but I have to double check real quick. Dead of Winter. If it is what I think, then it's oh yes. Fantastic acting by mostly Emma Thompson and Judy Greer. And it's in winter, and there's snow and ice, and it's a, what do we want to say, a kidnapping. I don't know how to say murder mystery exactly, but this woman who lives on this land is like trying to figure out what's going on. Ooh, that's a little scary and suspenseful, and it's called an action thriller. And I think it's definitely worth a watch. Worth a watch. And it's also fun to see, well, Emma Thompson doing something pretty different than what you'd probably normally see her do, and also especially Judy Greer, who is also an amazing actress and definitely doing something different. Showing her range. All right, that is all the movies that we're going to talk about today in this word podcast, and we're also done with all of the words. And I hope you come back next time where we will not talk about Germany anymore. Instead, we're going to talk about a lot of germs. This has been Spencer, dispensing information. Goodbye.